All right, looks like we're going. So I'm going to scroll down here to the live chat. Hi, everybody. Today we're going to go over any questions that people have about the document collection and source list that is due later tonight. I did send a tweet. I don't think that anybody... Oh, wait, Kim responded. In case people wanted to get a head start on the questions. So if you can't, for some reason, if the chat's not working or whatever, then you can always put your questions in on the Twitter feed that I put in there. So as people are starting to join, I got my iced tea. Today's snack of the day is licorice. If you do not like black licorice, then I feel sorry for you. Okay. I will wait a few minutes and then I will start with the Twitter questions and any questions that pop up on the chat. It says 2 are watching. Should get a few more. Cuckoo clock. Hi everybody, if you're just getting here, hopefully everything's working. I kind of wish this thing would tell me who it is that's here because I want to answer one of the questions from the Twitter, but if the person's not here, that doesn't really help them. Let me close some of this stuff up a little bit so that I can see all the chats. Okay, so just let me talk in general. If you are tuning in, it's probably because you have some questions or want to make sure that you're doing the documents correctly and doing the citations correctly. So all I'm looking for today, I know that there were some miscommunication. Some people were talking about the project, and there were some people who misinterpreted the assignment. So all I need from you today is all the documents with the information that you copy, pasted, downloaded, collected from the internet on those items that are on the assignment sheet for the documents, this one, right? So I'm looking for you to upload all of these assignments. You can combine them, but just make sure that in the title you tell me what's in that document. There's one assignment on the Google Classroom for that, and then there's another assignment for the source list. So there's a source list that should look like this. Right, like an MLA bibliography kind of thing. Right, this example is on the weblog at the bottom of the project assignment sheet. So the first question that I had came through on the Twitter post that I made. Is there a length requirement for the documents like the job Outlook paper? No. Although if you want to be thorough, I imagine you might want to look at a couple of different sources. BLS is, the Occupational Outlook Handbook is pretty thorough, but if you wanted to, you could go and look at a couple other places, but I'm thinking most websites probably take their information from Bureau of Labor Statistics. So, if you find a more comprehensive job description, all that does is it gives you more to work from when you're writing your paper. So the more you have in your documents, I'm going to tilt this a little bit. The more you have in your documents, the more information you have to work with for your paper. If the material in your document is lean, then you might end up with a situation where it's, you don't have a whole lot to work from to make your 3 to 5 page paper. It's always better with research in general to make, to get more information and gather more books, quotes, whatever the topic might be, than you really think you're going to need, because you might need to support something that you hadn't anticipated, or it just gives you more to work from when you're working on it. So there's no length requirement, but I do think it should be, like a paragraph or so. Or like you might also have just downloaded a chart, like especially on like salary information or something like that. You might have a chart instead of a paragraph. And keep in mind, you don't need to write those things. You're just getting that information from another source. You're just copy pasting or downloading. You don't have to take that information and turn it into anything at this point. That's what the paper's for. So next week we're going to work on an outline that helps you take all your information that you've gathered and organize it into a structured document. We'll do an outline, and then we'll have a week and a half to write the paper from the outline. So I don't think that the next 2 or 3 weeks should be as stressful as this week with the document gathering, just because there were a lot of questions about that, and for a lot of people it's the first time they're doing it. So hopefully that answers that first question that came on Twitter. I see there's 5 people lurking there, but I don't see any questions, so I'm not sure what area you'd like me to go over, what would be most helpful to you. So I'm just going to sip on my tea. Unsweet, because I'm sweet enough. Okay, 5 people just watching. Are you gathering your questions, or? I think a lot of the questions I've been getting by email, I'm going to say this straight up. I don't mind getting questions by email. I try to respond to them. I don't maybe every once in a while I'll check my email, and see if anybody needs anything. But I'm going to tell you that a lot of the questions that I've been answering on email are answered right in the documents that I've given you, really clearly. So I think maybe, I'm not saying don't email me. I'm not saying I don't want to help you. I'm just saying in the future when you have a class, other instructors might be annoyed by having to answer questions that are already answered in the material that's given. So ask yourself, did you read through this whole thing? Like, read through it. I went over it, but did you read through it? Did you examine the source list to see how it's set up? Did you sort of analyze how it's organized, where the spaces are and how things are separated, what the heading is, and blah, blah, right? So, I mean, just ask yourself first off if you did those things, and if the answer is no, then that's the first place to start. I'm not going to get mad about that, but I have definitely had professors who did. That was before email, when we had to go in person. So, in email, at least you can say, oh, well, whatever, if he's mean, but if she go to her office and you have to ask her in person, then might be mad. Or might not. I don't know. I don't want to say that everything's the same in college. So 6 people. I'm waiting for the questions, kids. Waiting for the Twitter tweets, the questions. Okay, here's another one. For primary source email, do we make the draft through email and screenshot it and turn that in, or actually type it? I have to open it. Okay, so some of you are doing primary source work. I know that not everybody is. So it says the primary source email, do we make that draft through email and screenshot it and turn that in, or actually type it through Docs like if it was an email? Yeah, you type it in the Docs, you upload it to that assignment in the Google Classroom. Right now there's 3 open assignments for today. Some of you might not use the primary research one if you're not going that route. But if you are, then just type your email in a Google Doc and upload it there, and I'll look at it, and then when I return it to you, you can send it to your mentor. It's just because I want to make sure everything's correct. I want to make sure you didn't miss anything. There are some guidelines that I gave you for writing that email, and I just want to make sure, because I maintain these mentors from year to year, I want to make sure that everything is legit and you don't have any problems with spelling or anything like that. So I'll look it over. But yeah, don't screenshot it. I want you to send it on a document. All right, I got another question. A lot of them are coming in through Twitter. Okay. So I don't know if you want to follow that thread on Twitter. You can see the same ones that I'm seeing. Can all the sources be in one document, or would you prefer 2 separate documents, one for university and one for professional? I don't care how you organize them, but I want the title of the document. When you go to your Google document and you start typing on the document, in the toolbar on the upper right, it will have a default, and it will be sort of like italics and light gray, and it will say untitled document. I don't want you to put in there what's in that document. So what I should be able to do is open up your assignment and see everything you uploaded, and then I should be able to check off that you have everything. So If it's combined in a document, put that in the title so that I can see that there's more than one thing. In other words, I'm not going to go through your untitled document. Well, I probably would just because I'm nice, but I'm not going to be happy about it. I'm not going to go through your untitled document that's 12 pages long and try to check off all the things and guess what your things are. That's not fair. That's not you doing your work. So if you do combine things, just make sure that you title it with whatever's in the document. Okay. Let's see. So that one, you should, I mean, if you're uploading all the documents separately, you could have anywhere from, 4 or 5 documents to 15. Because if you have PDFs that you've downloaded, I don't need you to put those into another document. Just upload the PDF and name the PDF whatever it is, Degree Plan 1. Okay, next question. Does it matter how old the assignments are? I don't think I would go more than 5 or 8 years. If it's something from 1945, I would try to find something more recent. But it doesn't have to be like from this semester or this year. I would say most professors probably recycle some of their assignments. So I would probably be leery about anything over 7 or 8 years old just because of how technology has changed in learning. But no, it doesn't really matter how old they are as long as they're not any older than, I would say the big cutoff would be 10 years. Yeah. All right, I've got a live chat question. Angela says, what if we can't get all the papers necessary? I'm finding it difficult to find online assignments. Well, you don't need to find online assignments. You just need to find assignments. Keep in mind that these are not assignments that students are creating. These are the assignment papers that professors are giving. So you're not looking for the essay that a student in class wrote. You're looking for the assignment that the professor handed out to get the students to write the assignment. So if you're really struggling with finding those assignments, on the weblog there's some instructions on how to find them and do some Google searches. If you're really, really stuck, email me and I'll help you do a little bit of research and we'll find something for you. It does not have to be an assignment from the class that your syllabus is from. It just has to be a college assignment. So it doesn't even have to be from the school that you've been finding your other resources from. It just needs to be a college level writing assignment on your bachelor's degree, undergraduate stuff. Hopefully I answered that question. Okay. Let's see. Next question is from Twitter. I've been using EasyBib for some citations, but a lot of them ask me to input the publisher. Is that the name next to the copyright at the bottom of the pages? Sometimes, but publisher is only going to be if it's a book. Maybe on EasyBib there's a tab where you can say what kind of source it is. Maybe you're on book instead of web. So we don't really have publishers with web, so it would be more like the website address. So double check that. If you run into trouble, just email me your info and I'll help you format it. Okay, next question from Twitter says, for a writing assignment that I got from Texas State, I cannot find the author. So do I use Department of English as the author? Yeah, you can do that. It's kind of weird that the professor wouldn't have their name on the paper. But a lot of times also there are departmental assignments, like the instructor's required to give certain key essay assignments or that kind of thing, and everybody uses that same document. So I would just put Department of English. That will work. Okay, so I answered all the questions that I have at the moment. Hopefully I answered them to your satisfaction. If there's something that you need more detail about, just send another question. Black licorice is my snack today. Oh, it went from 10 to 9. Somebody signed out. Another question that came up yesterday. Sorry, I dropped something. Another question that came up yesterday was, do I need to put my heading on all the pages? Yes, you need to put your heading on all the pages that you can put your heading on. It's good practice. The heading goes your name. Lots of people put their ID number next to their name, followed by underneath that my name, your instructor's name, then the course name, not the assignment name, the course name, and then the date. The date goes with the number, so 28 April 2018, no commas. That came up yesterday. Any more Twitter tweets? Nope. Who's there? Angela's there, that's the only one I know. Can y'all at least sign in so I know who's watching? Maybe all lurkerish. Let me check the email and see if there's any questions that came in that email. Nope. All right, well, let me walk you through the sources again. While I'm waiting for the next question, I will go ahead and just go through these items. The reason that I have this broken into two sections is because to get whatever job you're looking for, you are going to need a degree, and then you're going to need to pursue the position. So this is about getting the degree, and this is about pursuing the position. So the ones that are up here are about degree plans. Probably those are in PDF, or you can try to copy paste them from whatever university you're looking at. Two syllabuses, those should be pretty easy to research too. The syllabuses do not have to be from the same school as the degree plans. They're just syllabuses. Try to, if you can get them for the school from the degree plan, then that's beneficial to you. But if you can't find them, then just move on and try to find History 1301 from, some school. Two writing assignments, those are going to be essays or responses or something like that. General assignments can be homework, problem sets, lab setups, notes, projects. Anything that's not a writing assignment is a general assignment. Some people found exams. I mean, it doesn't say that on this paper, but that'd be all right too. The reason I want you to find assignments, that was recommended to me from some graduates when they started to serve as mentors, because they felt like it's good to get a handle on at least a few assignments that, so that you can see how they're written up and what they look like and what's expected. Then you need a list of occupations that require the degree. A couple people were asking me yesterday, is it literally a list? Yes, it's just literally a list. I don't need you to describe those jobs. I mean, if you want to go the extra mile and put a little blurb in there about what that job is, I just want you to know that with a degree, you can pursue what you're pursuing with this project, or there are other options once you have that degree that you can branch out and go in different directions. So I'm just I've already talked about all this stuff, but I'm going over it because I'm waiting on questions from people. All right, then the occupation documents, these are things like the job description. What is somebody in that job responsible for? You might be surprised, right? Everybody thinks they know what a teacher does because they see their teachers every day, but probably there's a bunch of stuff that we do that you don't know. Just on paper. Yes, but what? Job interview questions. What are they going to ask you in a job like that when you go for an interview? Salary information. It's good to think about that on the beginning salary, but also on the median salary, right? Then there's job availability or outlook. That's probably regional. So there is a Texas occupational outlook handbook or something equivalent to it. You can look that up. Availability in the nation or the outlook wouldn't be the same necessarily as the individual states. Required certification. Is there ongoing certification? Do you have to keep testing on something? Or do you just need it to get a certification and that's it? resume for an entry-level applicant, you can just literally search entry-level, chemical engineer resume. It might be a template that some university put together. It's okay. Current issues in the field, that should be a list of different, I think there's 2 of them that you need to have, things that are going on in that field that people are debating and thinking about. I asked everybody who's watching on the video to at least sign in so that I can see who's there. It's a little weird to just be talking to ghost people. I wonder if they're even my students or some weirdos. Just get kicks out of watching teachers talk about research projects. So the other 9 people besides Angela could say hello. I don't have any more emails or Twitters. So if there are any more questions, I'm just going to go ahead and sign out. I guess I could say make sure you alphabetize your source list. You probably have 15 sources, or some of them might be similar or from the same website. Twitter. If I cannot find the date for the writing assignment, so how do I input the date for the citation? You can't. Unless it has a term on there. If it has like fall 2017, then you can put that. Yeah, on MLA 8, if there's something that you don't have, like if you don't have an author, if you don't have a date that the item was created, then you just skip that. This part explains that. So again, let's go back to the handout that I made for you. Right? On the source list assignment, at the bottom there's a little chart from MLA that says all the things that need to be in the citation. EasyBib is just putting these in a form field for you and then doing the creation of it, but this is the same structure right here. So you just fill in whatever you can. There's an example of a filled in one on the next page. So you can see that on this website, this is the website that they were looking at over here. On this website, there was no author, so they had to skip it. But they went right to title. Right? Can you see that? Then they went right to the container, the other container, because it's other contributors and so on, and they just filled out what they could. You can see how there's some that are missing right here. So then they ended up with the citation that you see at the bottom of the page. There's no author, they just skip that part. So whatever you don't have, I mean, you have to, in earnest, try to find whatever it's asking you for, but you don't have to have all the parts. You just fill in whatever's there, and then your citation. So the citation machine or EasyBib or whatever is just doing this part for you. You're filling it in, and then it's just like, poop, it's just putting it out in that order. So whatever you're missing, you leave it out. Okay, any more questions? These are all good questions. I need to check the email again. I got an email from a couple people that have specific questions, so I'll respond to you as soon as we're done. Okay, so I got a question from somebody. Flo, what about for the PDF? For what? How do you cite a PDF? I figured. Okay, so Brittany, what do you mean about the PDF? How do you cite it? Okay, yeah, that question came up yesterday too. So to cite a PDF, what you're going to do is you're going to open the PDF and you're going to look and see what's the title at the top of the page. Is it, you know, History 1421 syllabus fall 2017? Then that's your title. So that's the first thing that you put in. You want a title of the document, unless there's an author, unless there's a professor. So you just follow this pattern, right? You follow this, or you go to EasyBib and enter it, right? And you just fill in what you can. If there's a professor who's the author, then you put that. The title of the document will be in quotation marks that I just described to you. And then after that, you cite the page where you clicked on the link that opened the PDF. So if it's a departmental page or a teacher's page or whatever, just go to that web page and that is the citation for the rest of the entry. All right, I have another question that came up on Google. It says, I don't know how to look for general assignments that my course needs. That's the only thing I have left to finish. Well, you can use any course. So it doesn't have to be a specific course. So just look for assignments. You would Google, you know, let's just say it's Bio 122 assignments and enter. Now, one thing that's coming up a lot is some website called Course Hero. I had never seen that before this year. It must have just come into existence because we didn't see that last year. Course Hero seems to me like a website where people are uploading teachers' assignments and their responses to those assignments so that people can copy them. But I did find some schools, some universities that were linking to Course Hero. So I'm not entirely sure about the validity of that website, but I will tell you that you have to pay to look at the documents. So to me, if that's a source that's reliable, I don't know why they have to make money off of it then. So they're making money off of something, and it seems to me like they're making money off of kids who want to find the answers to specific questions or homework or whatever from different professors. Because if you go to that website, if you click on any of those links with those assignments, it will have part of it there, or it will be like, you know, grayed out so that you could see some things there, but you can't see the whole thing. And it just seems to me like that's a little suspicious. So I would try to find sources that don't use Course Hero. Please don't pay any money to Course Hero or any other website to see assignments. Email me first and I'll find you some and send them to you. Okay. Okay, Emily, I found a PDF for the issues in the field, but it doesn't let me rename the PDF. Yeah, you can just put it in the documents, but I don't know why it wouldn't let you rename it. You mean when it's in Google? When you have it in your Google, download it, put it in your Google Drive, upload it to your Google Drive, and then if you click on it, you can select from the three little dots that are up in the toolbar. It's called something, but the three little dots, you can select rename. And if it doesn't let you do it right away, it might let you do it after a few minutes once the whole document is scanned and so on. But yeah, find a solution for that. If it doesn't let you rename the PDF, I guess maybe I'll try to figure it out from the title, but you should be able to rename it if you put it in your Google Drive. Hopefully that helps. Let's see if there's any more Twitter questions. Doesn't look like it. All right, what else you got? I don't know what else I can show you. I think a lot of issues and stress can be solved if you just calmly look through the documents that I've provided for you, like on the weblog. You know, there's 2 assignments on the classroom that are due today. The third one is optional if you're doing the primary source material. And a lot of your issues can be solved if you just read through the document. I would bet that people kind of looked it over but didn't really look at all the details. All the citing stuff I put on this sheet with examples of how to cite from websites, right? Did you just skip over that, or, right? That will help you. But, if you get to your wit's end, probably at 7 or 8 o'clock, I'm not going to be responding anymore to anything. I'm not spending the evening working on that stuff. So if you have a question, you might want to email it to me sooner rather than later, and upload whatever, it's better to upload whatever you can at midnight if you're having a, problem. Upload what you can and send it in as an assignment on time. If you're missing something, then come and talk to me, but it's better than not turning, the whole thing in. Next week we have to work from these documents to help to start creating the outline for the paper. All right, I'm going to assume that there are any more questions. I don't see anything on Twitter. I do have a couple of emails from specific people, and I'll be emailing you back as soon as I sign out. And if anything else comes up, then you can send me an email, send me a message on Twitter. I have the messages open in case you want to send a question, whatever way is easier for you. So hopefully this was helpful. 32 minutes, not bad. Hopefully everybody got what they needed. If not, then send me a message. See y'all next week. Bye.